5 hearing aid brands retailing between $3,000 and $7,000 per pair share, in documented cases, the same chip, the same digital signal processor, and in several instances, the same physical factory as devices you can buy for under $300. The price difference does not buy you better hearing. It buys you a white coat, a waiting room, and 30 years of industry infrastructure designed to keep you from knowing that. Today, this channel ranks 5 hearing aid brands. 3, whose price is built on licensing fees, audiologist commissions, and the prescription tier's institutional markup. And 2, where your money actually goes to the components, the engineering, and the technology inside the device. Starting at number 5, with a brand whose parent company structure tells a very different story than its clinic-facing price tag. Number 5, Beltone presents a textbook case of prescription tier pricing. A standard Beltone Amaze or Achieve pair retails between $3,000 and $5,500, depending on the dispensing clinic. The device is positioned as an independent, trusted hearing care brand with a network of over 1,500 dedicated Beltone care centers across North America. What that network represents, financially, is the machinery the markup pays for. Beltone operates under GN Store Nord, the Danish conglomerate that also owns ReSound, Jabra, and SteelSeries. GN Store Nord is publicly traded on the Copenhagen Stock Exchange and has reported gross margins in its hearing division consistently above 60% over the last 5 reported fiscal years. The chip architecture inside Beltone devices is shared across the GN audio ecosystem, which means the underlying digital signal processor technology is not proprietary to Beltone. It is a platform licensed and repackaged across price tiers and brand identities. The mechanism here is a holding strategy operating at scale. 2 brands, Beltone and ReSound, emerge from the same parent company's engineering pipeline and route to market through radically different distribution models. One, through audiologists commanding a commission per fitting, one increasingly through direct-to-consumer channels. Same platform, different packaging, different price. For the consumer, the premium paid at a Beltone care center largely reflects the distribution layer, not the device. Beltone has a pronounced markup built into its retail architecture. But in this ranking, the conglomerate story is only beginning. Number 4, Miracle Ear takes the markup game further by adding a franchise layer that Beltone does not carry. A standard Miracle Ear Genius 2 pair retails between $3,000 and $6,000 through its franchise network of over 1,500 locations, many of which operate inside Walmart retail spaces across the United States. Miracle Ear operates under Amplifon, the Italian multinational and one of the world's largest hearing care retail groups by store count. Amplifon has reported consolidated gross margins above 63% in recent annual filings, and its acquisition-driven expansion strategy has consistently moved the company toward owning the retail point of sale rather than the manufacturing pipeline. Miracle Ear devices are manufactured under an OEM arrangement, meaning the physical hardware is produced by third-party manufacturers and branded under the Miracle Ear identity for the franchise network. The mechanism operating here is a layered wholesale and retail markup accumulated across Amplifon's corporate structure, the franchisee's overhead, and the in-store audiologist's commission. Each layer adds cost. None of those layers add transistors, algorithms, or frequency bands to the device in your ear canal. According to documented industry practices, the audiologist commission embedded in prescription tier pricing can account for between 20 and 30% of the final retail price at the point of fitting. At a $5,000 sale, that is between $1,000 and $1,500 in cost that has nothing to do with what you are putting in your ear. Verdict: at Miracle Ear, you are buying a franchise system and a retail footprint, not a proprietary chip. Before this ranking reaches the most egregious example of conglomerate pricing, you need 4 tests. 4 things you can check before you walk into any hearing clinic or open any product box that will separate a device priced on technology from one priced on brand infrastructure. First, check for the FDA OTC designation. Since August 2022, the FDA hearing aid rule created a legal over-the-counter tier for adults with perceived mild to moderate hearing loss. If a device carries the designation FDA-cleared OTC hearing aid, it legally bypasses the prescription tier entirely. If a device does not carry that designation, you are inside a system that requires an audiologist as a gatekeeper, and that gatekeeper is typically compensated by commission. Second, request the technical specification sheet before any fitting appointment. Ask for the chip model or DSP platform by name. Widex, Phonak, and Oticon each publish their platform names, Evoke, Lumity, More, and Intent, and in documented cases, those same DSP architectures appear under private label in Costco's Kirkland signature line at a fraction of the prescription tier price. Third, identify the holding company. Sonova, Demont, GN, Store, Nord, and WS Audiology collectively control approximately 80% of the global hearing aid market, according to industry analyst reporting. A brand that presents itself as independent or boutique almost certainly traces back to one of these four groups. That matters because if the premium brand and the private label brand share a parent, they frequently share a factory. Fourth, ask about the 5-year reprogramming cost. A prescription hearing aid priced at $6,000 that requires annual audiologist adjustments at $150 to $250 per visit adds between $750 and $1,250 in follow-up cost. Over 5 years, pushing the true total between 12 and 20% above the sticker price. OTC devices with self-fitting apps eliminate that layer entirely. Every model on this channel goes through these same 4 tests. No deals with manufacturers, no clinic partnerships. If that is the kind of information you wish someone gave your parents before they walked into the audiologist, you already know what to do. Number 3, Phonak marks the peak of conglomerate pricing strategy in this ranking. A Phonak Lumity L90 pair retails between $5,000 and $7,500 at audiology clinics across the United States. Phonak is the flagship brand of Sonova, the Swiss holding company that also owns Unitron, Hanseton, and operates the Connect Hearing retail chain. Sonova is publicly traded on the Swiss exchange and has reported gross margins in its hearing instruments segment above 68% in recent fiscal years, among the highest reported margins of any of the 4 major holding groups. The Lumity platform is a genuinely engineered product. Phonak's AutoSense OS algorithm and its Roger wireless accessory ecosystem represent documented proprietary development. A U.S. patent portfolio covering directional microphone processing and Bluetooth low-energy audio streaming has been an active part of Phonak's IP filings since the early 2010s. The technology is real. The question this ranking asks is whether the gap between $5,500 and $7,500 at a Phonak clinic and $1,499 at Costco for the Kirkland Signature 10, a device co-developed with Sonova, according to documented reporting in Hearing Tracker and industry trade publications, reflects a proportional gap in what is inside the device. The answer, based on the chip platform overlap that industry analysts have documented between Phonak mid-tier and Kirkland Signature generations, is that it does not. What the gap reflects is Sonova's decision to let its premium brand carry the full weight of audiologist distribution costs, while its private label partner route absorbs none of that structure. The bill of materials for a pair of premium prescription hearing aids sits, according to industry analyst estimates, between $100 and $300 in components. The spread between that figure and a $7,000 retail price represents the prescription tier's infrastructure cost passed entirely to the consumer. For the consumer, Phonak's Lumity is a premium engineered platform whose retail price is set by a distribution model, not by the component bill. If you think the Sonova overlap with Kirkland is the sharpest edge in this ranking, what follows changes the lens entirely. Number 2, Lexi Hearing stands out as the clearest expression of what the OTC tier was designed to make possible. The Lexi B2 Plus, powered by Bose, retails at $999 for a pair. The Bose Audio Engineering Partnership is a documented, publicly announced co-development. This is not a rebrand. It is a device built on Bose's decades of DSP and acoustic engineering translated into a self-fitting hearing aid platform. The Lexi B2 Plus carries FDA OTC hearing aid clearance, placing it squarely in the tier the August 2022 rule created for adults with perceived mild to moderate hearing loss. The device supports Bluetooth low-energy streaming, a self-fitting app with a guided audiometric calibration process, and a directional microphone array. The self-fitting application eliminates the audiologist fitting appointment entirely, which means the commission layer, documented at 20 to 30% of prescription tier pricing, does not exist in the bill at checkout. The mechanism operating at Lexi is direct-to-consumer distribution, eliminating the wholesale layer that Beltone, Miracle Ear, and Phonak each carry. At $999 for a pair against a prescription tier average of $4,500 to $5,500, the Lexi B2 Plus forces a specific question: what does the $3,500 to $4,500 $500 gap buy in a prescription device that a Bose engineered DSP does not already deliver for mild to moderate hearing loss. According to a published comparison in Hearing Tracker's clinical editorial coverage, for the majority of adults with mild to moderate loss, the functional difference is smaller than the pricing gap suggests. Here, the consumer's $999 is in honest alignment with what the technology costs to engineer and deliver. Number 1. Costco Kirkland Signature delivers a level of transparency that stands alone in this ranking. The Kirkland Signature 10 retails at approximately $1,499 for a pair, available exclusively through Costco's hearing centers, which employ licensed audiologists and include fitting, follow-up, and adjustments in the purchase price without additional commission per device incentive structures, according to documented Costco retail policy. The Kirkland Signature Hearing Aid Program has, across documented product generations, operated in co-development partnerships with major prescription tier manufacturers. Industry coverage in Hearing Tracker and AARP's hearing aid reporting has documented the relationship between Kirkland, Signature Generations, and Phonak and Rexton platforms, the latter operating under the WS Audiology Holding Group. This means the chip architecture, the DSP platform, and in documented cases, the physical enclosure of a $1,499 Costco device traces to the same engineering pipeline as prescription devices retailing between $4,000 and $7,000. The device carries Bluetooth low-energy audio streaming, rechargeable battery architecture, a multi-channel noise reduction algorithm across documented frequency bands, and a 2-year warranty with loss and damage coverage built into the retail price. A published Consumer Reports evaluation rated Kirkland Signature hearing aids as top performers in their category across multiple evaluation cycles. The mechanism operating at Costco is a private label model that eliminates the manufacturer's branded marketing budget, the independent audiologist commission structure, and the retail markup the prescription tier has protected for 30 years. Costco's audiology centers are salaried staff, not commission per fitting dispensers. That structural difference is documented in Costco's own employment and retail model disclosures. At $1,499, the Kirkland Signature 10 represents the rare case in this sector, where price actually reflects components, service, and engineering rather than the infrastructure cost of a prescription tier distribution channel. Across the 5 brands analyzed, one pattern stands out above the rest. In the hearing aid sector, the prescription tier's price is not set by what is inside the device. It is set by a distribution infrastructure, audiologist commission structures, holding company licensing strategies, and decades of regulatory architecture that, before August 2022, gave consumers no legal alternative. The FDA OTC rule did not change the technology. It changed what you are required to pay to access it. The principle this ranking demonstrates is consistent across every price point examined. Transparency of ownership and elimination of distribution layers are the most reliable predictors of value in this category. The chip inside a $6,000 pair and the chip inside a $1,499 pair can trace, in documented cases, to the same engineering pipeline. What you pay for above the component cost is a system, not a device. In an industry built on information asymmetry, knowing who owns the brand you are buying and what distribution layers set the price is what protects your